There's a lot of mystery in the John Wick universe, but nothing gets talked about more than that night. The night John Wick earned his freedom, the
impossible task, a job no one could have pulled off.
It's the event that everyone in the underworld knows, but nobody ever fully explains. So let's break down what we actually know, what the films hint at, and what most likely happened during the one night that turned John Wick into a legend. 1. Viggo gave John the task, and he never expected him to survive. Back then, John was still working for Viggo Tarasov, who basically ran New York's criminal ecosystem with his brother. When John told him he wanted out of the life so he could marry Helen, Viggo didn't just say no. Instead, he gave him a job that was meant to be impossible. Viggo knew this wasn't a mission, it was a death sentence. He even admits it later. The task was designed to make John disappear because once John left the business, he was useless to him. But John Wick isn't exactly someone who dies on command. Not only did he survive, he completed the job so perfectly that it changed the entire structure of the Tarasov Empire.
The bodies he buried that day laid the foundation of what we are now.
That one night was supposed to end John Wick. Instead, it launched the myth of the Baba Yaga. 2. Everyone in the underworld knows about it, which tells us how big it was. This wasn't some secret contract in the shadows. The impossible task is something everyone seems to have heard about. You can see it in how assassins react when they hear John's name. Not with curiosity, but with fear or respect. Aurelio, Winston, Zero, Caine, everyone treats John like a force of nature. You don't get that kind of reputation from killing one guy. This was something massive, something so big that it became part of underworld history. The kind of job that instantly turns a man into a myth. 3. Viggo never describes the details, but he gives us one of the most important lines in the entire series. He says that the bodies John killed that night laid the foundation of the entire Tarasov power structure. That means John didn't just take out a target. He eliminated the people standing in the way of the Tarasov rise. He cleared the field, brutally and efficiently, in a single night. So what does that mean? It likely means he wasn't taking down one rival group, he was taking down many. 4. The Tarasovs controlled a huge underground network, so John probably fought multiple syndicates. In Chapter 2, we see just how much influence the Tarasovs actually had. Viggo and his brother Abraham controlled a giant underground operation that affected almost every corner of New York. They weren't just powerful, they were untouchable.
They've agreed to your terms. Miss Aki gave much of a choice anyway, though, right? Congratulations, sir.
Have you seen my son?
And that didn't happen by accident. It makes sense that the impossible task included wiping out every major threat to the Tarasov family, not just their enemies, but anyone who could challenge them. So imagine this. John Wick, in one night, targeting several crime factions across New York, taking out leaders, lieutenants, safe houses, and operations one by one. No sleep, no backup, no mistakes. That would explain why nobody came after John during his retirement, because there was simply no one left capable of doing it. 5. Santino D'Antonio's role. Santino is the shadow in the background of this story. We know he helped John, but not how. And knowing Santino's personality, he wouldn't pick up a gun and join John. That's not his style. It's much more likely that Santino acted as a strategist, providing information, tracking enemy movements, supplying resources, coordinating logistics. Basically, he served as John's ground control, the perfect partnership. John takes out the enemies. Santino opens the doors. And we know Santino loves power, so helping John reshape the underworld in one night would have benefited him too. 6. What the upcoming anime will probably show, since the anime is supposed to cover John and Santino's early partnership, and the impossible task itself we'll probably see. John getting the assignment from Viggo Santino acting as the brains behind the scenes. John moving through New York, hitting multiple criminal families. The rise of the Tarasovs as a result. The exact moment John earned his way out. It's likely going to show the brutal, non-stop sequence of events that transformed John Wick from a top-tier hitman into a supernatural legend.